How do you deal with cancellations from adults? Like when an adult wants to cancel. So Ms. Callie, let's do it.
As an adult, I tend to come heart to heart because I understand where they're coming from. So essentially, I am still going over like the agreement, but in that moment, especially when we did our 8-week water challenge with our a lot of females, a lot of moms, yes, they were very frustrated, had a lot of body shame and things like that. So when it came to that, I had to approach it from a very loving place and really just encourage them and be a motivator for them. At that moment, it's not about the agreement. They're thinking in their head, just like, I'm not good enough. It's like, what am I doing here? And you have to teach them and show them, it's like, hey, being a mom is a hard job. We do have a lot of moms. Like, it's a hard job. When's the last time you did something for yourself? Reminding them of that and reminding them of their purpose of that. And then typically what happens is like, they just really need a shoulder to cry on, essentially. Just a little bit of a counseling. And usually having that conversation kind of is not even about the cancellation. It's really about them not feeling like they belong where they are and reminding them, it's like, yes, you do belong. When's the last time you did something for yourself? Your kid needs you to see you happy. Your kid needs to see you blooming and growing. And guess what? A lot of our moms, like, they're doing it with their kids. And it's like, I've seen the bonds have grown so much doing that. So typically, the cancellation really isn't an issue with adults.
And I'm going to add one thing to that. So if you have an adult that's gotten injured or is getting beat up in class, like maybe not beat up because, you know, something's happening that's bad, but like they're just maybe they're not doing as well as they could be. There's times where you're going to need to make sure that you have conversations with that adult and encourage them before they quit. That's super important. And you have to own everything about that training. So if they keep getting injured, is it because they're being stupid or because you're being stupid and putting them with partners they're not ready for? Yeah, partner pairings are everything with adults. So that's super important. How do you determine who gets scholarshiped and what is the scholarship program? Okay, so most of our students that get scholarshiped, usually they've started taking classes with us and they were paying, but they had some kind of extenuating circumstance that happened where we scholarship them either for a certain amount of time or we just go ahead and scholarship them moving forward. Like, that's what we end up doing. With Partners in Education, we do offer scholarships for students as well. So you can create a scholarship that a student can qualify for, and you can do two great things. You get the student in, but you also get to offer that as something that's beneficial for that school. I wouldn't necessarily make it academic related. I would make it like guidance related. Yeah.
So on the qualifications, when we do it with Partners in Education, it can, be someone who is doing well in school. However, we don't focus on that. We usually work with guidance to determine someone in their school that may need help with confidence or focus, and really do the scholarship through that. And that's the qualifiers, who they feel could really benefit through martial arts, not so much who's doing well academically.
Can someone explain how you ask the parent to fill out a black belt story card? What are the words that you use?
From a black belt story card, essentially, when you ask them to fill out a black belt story card, we have our 4 pillars of success. And if you don't know what our 4 pillars of success are, it's focus, confidence, discipline, and respect. So the key area there is they have to demonstrate one or some of those skills outside of the 4 walls of the dojo. So when it comes to like a new student, we always have them fill out a black belt story card on their 3rd group class based on how they have started improving in their first week of training with us. It's important that we're showing the parents that the students are having small wins and that the students also know what their small wins are, even in their first week of classes. So a lot of the times in their first week of classes, it can be something simple as, okay, now Johnny started listening the first time when I asked him to go pick up his toys. Now he's doing it when I'm asking him, because now we have the accountability from the instructors to be able to support him in that. Or it can be something even as simple as, now we're learning how to say yes ma'am and yes sir at home. And before we started karate, that was something that we never did. So it doesn't have to be something extravagant. Actually, the little things make the biggest difference.
So on a scholarship program, do you have the parents pay for the uniform, the gear? Do they have to invest a little, or do you just?
There are scholarship programs for certain students where we have them, they have to invest to really, I don't know what the word is. Right, thank you. To have skin in the game. So not all scholarships are free. There are some under circumstances where they may pay 50% of the tuition. We do have a scholarship agreement. So for the initial program, we do provide the uniform and everything that they need. But if they need extra items, an extra t-shirt, they break something, they grow out of their uniform, replacement items, things like that, then they do have to purchase those. But we do give them a 25% discount. So they get a scholar discount for the life of the program on anything that they purchase. But everything that they need for the program is provided to them. So when they join an advanced training program, that will be provided to them as well. They just may pay 50% of the tuition if that's the agreement that we've come to with that particular student.
How do you handle competitors, period? Are they a separate program and pricing?
So what you're asking, I'm just gonna assume two things. First of all, you don't have competitors outside of your school. If you're focusing on the competition, you're not focusing on what you're doing. You do what you do. Your school is your school. You make the rules. You do your thing. You're gonna learn the things that you need to do to make yourself successful. You can have another martial arts school 3 blocks from you who has just as many students, is just as successful as you. It's preference. If you have something that's a unique selling proposition that's different from the people, maybe you teach Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu and they don't want Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. Maybe they want a striking art, or vice versa. So they're coming to you for what you do and how that feels for you. Right now in our Flagship Dojo, we have nobody competing for anything. We don't even have people ask about competition, but let's go there, because in the past we have. Miss Jennifer's fought MMA and she's fought pro kickboxing. We've had competition teams, but we had a competition team. We didn't have it where people just say, oh, okay, I'm gonna go to a tournament. No, we're a school, we're a team. We do things together.